Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I wanted to make a video today talking more about the 3D to 5D transition that we're in. Just seeing a lot of confusion and doubt out there, a lot of things that people feel are holding them back and they're feeling very stuck during this time that we're in, during this transitional time. So I really felt kind of pulled, I guess, to make this video today explaining some things, maybe to clarify certain things for certain people about what could be holding them back still to this 3D life and matrix that they're still in. Okay, so the specific information I'm sharing today, it was, I don't know if you want to say a download or not. I guess you could say that I guess in a way it could be. I just feel like a lot of people are struggling right now with certain blocks and they're really not sure what those things are in their life. So maybe this will help them to identify what they are and how they can then release themselves of that 3D cord, you can call it, and finally make that journey in their way to 5D, which is where we all want to be headed right now and where a lot of us are already in. So let me explain just really quick for those who are maybe new to my channel and haven't heard me, my other videos. When I say the ascension process, when I talk about the timeline that we're on right now, I'm referring to a vibrational thing that's going on right now. And yes, you can relate it to, planet in a planetary way, like it is happening on a planetary level, on a universal level really, but the entire solar system, but specifically Earth, okay, is being affected by this right now, where Earth, first keep in mind Gaia, which is the name of Earth right now in 3D, and as Earth moves to 5D, the name actually of the planet itself changes based on that vibration, the higher vibration of 5D, and actually Earth in 5D is called Tara, T-A-R-A. So it's based on the vibration, like I said. So the name does change. But while in 3D, it's Gaia. And Gaia is an actual spirit. It's an actual soul. It's an entity. It's a being. Okay, it's not just like a round ball. I mean, the Earth, first of all, is a realm. So I don't want to get into details or specifics about whether it's round or flat or, gosh, I don't really know. I'm not a scientist in that sense. I have never been outside of Earth to look down to see what does it actually look like, to even comment on that. But I will stick with the word realm because Earth is a realm, and this is actually something that Nikola Tesla said as well. So we're going to call it that. It's a realm, and this realm is occupied by a being, an entity, whose name right now we'll refer to as Gaia while still in 3D for many people. And Gaia herself is actually ascending. She's going from 3D to 5D. She was originally in 5D. A lot of bad things happened. I won't get into details. Galactic wars, things like that lowered the vibration, made her go down to 3D. And now it's that ascension process back up to 5D. That's what this is right now. So while that happens, like, it is literally the vibration is going up. We're vibrating faster. The Earth is vibrating faster. The frequencies, everything, the amount of light coming in from the sun, the amount of plasma light coming in right now is very intense because everything is vibrating faster and going faster and faster. So your manifestation abilities will be faster. Karma works much faster. Everything kind of goes faster. And your body has to adjust. So what's happening is a lot of people it's an uncomfortable process for many people because if you are somebody who grew up eating really bad food, processed food, you were vaccinated heavily, you were heavily, I'm going to call it brainwashed and mind controlled, okay? If you lived in, grew up in the US or any of those first world countries. I grew up in Canada mostly. As well as some other countries. I did travel quite a lot as a kid, but I mainly grew up in Canada. And it's definitely not as bad as US. I know that because I have been to the US, but we'll just stick with, that kind of culture for now. And it's that culture heavily controls and brainwashes people, kids as well, of course, from young, okay? So, the people in these parts of the world who are very heavily indoctrined, are going to have a harder time with this ascension process in terms of your body detoxing, also in terms of just your consciousness adjusting to a higher expanded consciousness, unity consciousness. This is what it is in 5D. So you might be purging a lot more. You might be having more mood swings, things like that, because you're not really you have so many blockages that you haven't dealt with yet as a person. Now, when we're on 3D, because it's a free will planet that we've incarnated onto, you're dealing with all kinds of beings on 3D. Okay, you have a lot of service to others. I myself am one of those. We are service to others, meaning that we put others' needs, and I don't like to say before our own, because I always say love yourself first. Make sure that your needs are fulfilled first. Make sure your cup is full, and then you can spill over all your love and your help and your guidance and everything over to the rest of the world. And that is true service to others. Okay, because sometimes there's this false thing going around that you should just give yourself completely. I mean, you need to give yourself first, take care of yourself first, and then you can go ahead and help others. So you have people like that, and then you have people on the other side of the spectrum who are service to self. Now, it's kind of hard to deal with people like this, because when you talk to them, they themselves don't even know what they're doing or how their actions affect other people. They are not aware in any way whatsoever. So it's frustrating, because when you try to put reason into people like this who are very selfish and narcissistic in their ways, and this is something I want to talk about a little more in detail just now as well, is that they truly don't see how their actions affect other people. They have very manipulative ways to get what they want, because it's all about them first. Their needs come first and other people come last, and they really do count. They count everything that they have done for other people, and they like to kind of throw it in your face after this, because they are literally counting and saying, well, I took away time from myself that I could have used for my own things to do, and you should be grateful, basically. So this, it's frustrating to deal with people like this, because they really don't understand even the concept of service to others, in any way whatsoever. So you have to learn as you're ascending that these people, first of all, service to self beings, okay, they cannot get past 4D. They absolutely cannot get past 4D. Past 4D. They cannot get into 5D, because to get into 5D, you really have to be that vibration of unconditional love, peace, okay, that vibration, and that is truly service to others. You cannot be an unconditional loving person and be selfish and only caring about yourself. It doesn't work that way. So these beings will continue in that reincarnation cycle until they learn and they ascend on their own. And in this case, if they don't learn that in this lifetime, they will be incarnating onto a different planet, a different 3D planet, to continue those lessons and make that ascension on their own time. So it's not about judgment. When you start to ascend, you realize it's not about judgment either. Everyone is on their own journey. Even if it's somebody who's narcissistic in your life, it's about accepting that this is who they are. It's not about saying, oh my God, they're a bad person. No, it's just who they are. It's how they operate. You need to be kind of smarter. Realize you are in control of your own life, of your own reality, so you can put the boundaries where you need to. Don't be a victim. This is about escaping 3D. It's truly embodying not being a victim of anything that's happening. It's not happening to you, okay? Nothing is happening to you. You are in control of the way you respond in every single situation. And your change in response to a situation could create two totally different realities for you, or timelines, okay? So, right now, what I've sort of noticed in this time that we're in, a lot of people are getting triggered, because what's happening is so I guess I'll explain it this way. The easy way isn't, this is something I wrote down while I was doing notes, like a download I got. The easy way isn't always the right way, okay? So at this time, all of those people who did the right thing, okay, made the right choices, we'll say, vibrationally speaking, are doing well now. surprisingly, during this whole coronavirus situation, quarantine and this and that, somehow we're all being taken care of in some way. It's kind of shocking to some how we're being so well taken care of right now, financially, you know, in every way, really. So those who were not authentic to themselves until this point and really didn't learn or didn't wake up in time to make those choices and start changing that about themselves, those are the people who are kind of suffering now, who are very now entrenched in that 3D matrix and suffering the consequences sort of those energetic decisions, I guess you could say, that they made at that time, because they're not matching the vibration of 5D. And Earth wants to ascend. Earth is pushing everybody. It's the energy. It's pushing everyone. It's purging that out of everyone. So some people are reacting worse, you know what I mean, than others. They're reacting more strongly. They're getting triggered like crazy because they aren't willing to face that part of themselves. I mean, we all have things that we have to work on. Healing process for everyone is different, and it's long. I mean, for me, it's been years. But it's first understanding that you do have maybe something to work on yourself. It's not about being perfect. You're not perfect. And, you know, we all have our things, but, you know, recognizing what that thing is and starting to work on it, that's becoming a better person. That's bettering yourself for yourself, and then that means for society. So, you know, there are people who are not willing to even recognize that they have anything to work on or how to open their mind. Well, they're going to get very stuck. And very much stuck on that 3D timeline. So it's important to be alert, I guess, or aware, conscious about these things, so that you can then work on these things. Also, people in 3D, they're not very much used to dealing with... Oh, sorry, one second. They're not used to dealing with people who are authentic and transparent. It triggers the hell out of them. I don't know exactly why. Maybe because we reflect things back to themselves, their shadow selves that they don't like. They can't bullshit us. They can't. We have those lie detectors, those bullshit radar detectors, whatever you want to call it, right? With our intuition. Like, you can't lie to us. You know what I mean? It's not going to work. So when you're the kind of person who has nothing to prove, you don't go in with that energy of somebody who has something to prove. You're just being you. You're being authentic. You're being transparent, okay? They get triggered like crazy. It happens, and it's going to happen. But it doesn't mean you should stop being who you are, okay? So I want to talk really quickly about something here. One second. Yeah, so how can you recognize who or what this block is that's in your life? And I say who because a lot of times it's a person in your life. And I want to give a personal example of actually something that happened to me today, my own experience. And I do want to share it because sharing your personal experiences with others is helpful. People can relate more to that. 1 second, sorry. Have a drink. I made tamarind juice today. It's so good. I love tamarind. Okay. So this could be a person for you. This could be a parent. This could be a partner. It could be somebody you live with. I don't even know. It could be anyone for any. It's different for everyone, whoever you are. But I'm just going to give you a general idea here, okay? This narcissistic behavior is way too common, and it's been way too normalized in our society, unfortunately. And I will share my example because I grew up with I'm going to talk about the one person here who was the main, I guess, character in my life, okay? Which is my father. Extremely narcissistic type of person. I did not know this as a child. Of course, when you're a child, you know, you look at your parent like they're God or, you know, whatever. But as I started to get older, I started to pick up on a lot more and realize a lot more. And I did leave my house at a young age for that reason specifically because it was really bringing me down. And I refer to narcissists as energy vampires because genuinely that's sort of what they are. And I couldn't take it. I felt like it was making me sick, like all my energy was being drained. So I want you to recognize that if this is your situation, if you're with somebody who you don't even realize that this person is bringing you down vibrationally because they're leeching off of your energy constantly, then you really are not going to ascend. In order to ascend to 5D, you need to, first of all, if you're on your own, be of that vibration and not have any cords to anyone attached who is sucking on your energy. Okay, you need to create those boundaries for yourself, because you can cut those cords. You absolutely can. You just need to take your power back and make these decisions, and your life will get better. You will see miracles start to happen, and your whole timeline will shift as you want it to. But when you have a narcissistic person, it's literally, imagine a vampire, how you would see a vampire, but an energy vampire of your own energy. Because what's happened is a narcissistic person is so self-absorbed that they have literally cut themselves off from source energy. They no longer can receive that source energy that gives you that energy and that divine knowledge and that expanded consciousness. They don't have access to that anymore. So now they have to look for it elsewhere. And in doing that, they basically get you to that point where they create the drama in your life, they victimize themselves and put the blame at you, they put you in situations that cause you such anxiety and cause such doubt in you and such guilt, because these feelings of fear, guilt, anxiety, they're the lowest of vibrations. And in doing so, they receive energy from you, okay? And this is the example I'm going to share with you. And it hurts to share it sometimes, because it's hard to believe sometimes when this is your own parent or somebody super close to you. But I must share it, because it happened to me, and I've learned how to open my voice now and to be totally open about these things, because my experience may help somebody else realize. It may resonate in some way. So from a young age, I came from a very dysfunctional family setting. My parents, I guess you could say, were initially in love. I call it puppy love. You know, it's not true love. It's just an exciting time for both, you know, infatuation, whatever you want to call it. And they got married very fast, had kids fast, and things just kind of broke apart really fast too. And there's just a lot of bad, low vibration situations, dangerous situations my brother and myself were placed in. And long story short, my parents separated, moved around a lot, and I ended up with my dad's side of the family. And my dad, growing up, was just a very narcissistic kind of person. And I didn't recognize it at first because I was very young. But he used to find ways to punish us, find excuses to punish us. He would pick on everything as a child to punish us on. And he would actually find pleasure, like he would smile about it in a way, whenever we would be in that state of fear. Okay, because he would do weird things. Like he would, first of all, when I was a kid, let's say I didn't like to eat spinach, because that was that microwavable spinach, that like soggy spinach. So he would kind of give me that, and I didn't want to eat it. So if I didn't want to eat it, he would lock me in the furnace room with the lights off on a stool and with that bowl of spinach, and I would be forced to sit there in the dark. I was probably 7, 8 years old, and eat that. And until I ate it, I couldn't come out. You know what I mean? My brother, for example, like he would tie his hands with rope and, you know, tie him to the door, and all night kind of just watch him and find satisfaction, I guess. He did really strange things like that. You know, he kicked my brother out of the house at the age of 15, didn't care that it was the middle of a Canadian winter. My brother was living in like an abandoned car in an underground garage, McDonald's garage type of thing. So these are people who do these things to create that kind of state of being inside of you, where you're in a state of constant fear and anxiety, because that creates such a high for them, like the energy that they get off of it, okay? And they're also able to control you. So these are people with control issues. So if you have somebody in your life, and the other thing I wanted to mention is this is something that happened to me today. So I cut ties with my father a long time ago. I haven't seen him in over 10 years now. But he actually messaged me today, of all things. It was just, I'm not going to get into details, but, you know, basically trying to advise me about something very silly. It was very much like he was not being authentic. I could tell that he was just using that as an excuse, whatever he messaged me about, just to get his sort of word in. And it's important that even in that moment that you still set your boundaries. I mean, I definitely did on my side. I let him know right away that his tactics don't work on me anymore at all. So he was trying to get a reaction out of me again, as he usually does. He has very narcissistic ways, very controlling ways. And I put him in his place, definitely. I doubt he'll ever contact me again. But it's important that even if this is somebody in your life that you're close to, and they're doing this to you, recognize that it's not okay. It's absolutely not okay. And if you're feeling something is blocking you in your life, it very well could be a person that you wouldn't even think is actually doing this to you, or gaslighting you. You can look that up. What's gaslighting, you know? Very similar to an energy vampire. They create situations to control you, to guilt you. Till this day, I'm healing, I guess you could say, from feeling guilty about random things that I really should never feel guilty about. I was shamed as a child by especially my father, made to feel very insecure about my body, and I still deal with that today. I still deal with healing that side of me. Just insecure about who I am as a person, my ethnic background, the mix that I am. I was always sort of put down for those types of things, for who I am, the things that I like. So, you know, if you let these people in your life get you down and say things to you, and you actually let it affect you, you're really going to be stuck, you guys, because the dark is never going to stop. They can exist until 4D. So until 4D, you're always going to find dark beings who are parasitic in nature, who are going to try and get you, get your energy, feed off of your light. Be brave, you know what I mean? Be brave and learn how to create those boundaries and cut those cords. Get that person out of your life. Like, get them out. What do you need them for exactly? If they're not benefiting you, if they're not bettering your life, if they're not raising the vibration and the quality of your life, question it. Like, what are they there for? You've let them, it's almost become like an addiction for you. You know what I mean? Some people let their abusers abuse them, and they defend them even sometimes. I've seen this happen time and time again. Oh my gosh, all over the place. And this is something that's been normalized into our culture. It shouldn't be. Taking your power back, being sovereign and taking your power and setting your boundaries should be normalized. That should be normalized. Not things like what the dark does. Abuse children, pedophilia, you know what I mean? Gaslighting, taking people's energy, lowering vibration, just calling upon, dark entities and these satanic cults that exist, and these people in our lives that exist, that we accept just because they are our earth mother or earth father or earth sibling or friend or neighbor or roommate or husband or wife, partner, right? Or, it could be anyone, okay? But if this person is not giving, you don't have equal energy exchanges with that person, if that person, it doesn't have good intentions for you, and they're displaying these behaviors that I talked about, well, then and you're still allowing it. So you need to then learn that lesson and maybe taking your power back, guys. That's something you need to work on, because if you really want to ascend to 5D, you can't, it doesn't work that way. You can't bypass or skip steps. You can't. Learn to discern. Oh, that's a great meme. Learn to discern, guys. Learn to discern, okay? Learn to discern in media, stop watching CNN and all that bullshit, mainstream news that is fake, that is not giving you the correct information, that's feeding you a narrative just to get a pedophile elected, okay, and run the world and carry out that same agenda that, BLM and all of these people are promoting, basically. It's not cool, guys. Like, if there's any time to rise up and speak out and stand up for anything, that time is now. It starts with you, with doing that in your life and in your own reality. Cut those cords, because you will see miracles happen. And then it goes on to your circle, right? Your circle, like, what information are you allowing into your life? If you know it's fake news, if you know it's something that's not correct, don't watch it. Don't even pay attention. Promote the information that that resonates, that is true, okay? Don't get sucked into the distractions that the mainstream media is constantly putting out to distract you from what's really going on, okay? Which is child sex trafficking, okay? I don't know how many are paying attention, but there's so much going on, so many kids being rescued right now, which I'm totally giving props to Trump, because he has done an amazing job in that. He has done an amazing job, and I don't care what anyone says, okay, about this. I'm not here for political interest to talk about this stuff. I am here for humanity's interests to talk about this stuff. And if the guy who happens to be leading this movement is Trump, Well, props to you, Trump. Thank you, Mr. President Trump, because honestly speaking, we were waiting for somebody of that kind of level of power and influence to make these changes, and thank God you came. Thank God, because where would we be if you were not here right now doing these things? Biden is trying to get elected. My God. Guys, go Google Antifa.com and see what comes up. That's all I'm going to say to you. Go Google Antifa.com and see what comes up. And then see the kind of person that you're trying to vote for if you're one of those anti-Trump people, okay? Just go and educate yourself. Don't just riot and protest for the sake of it, for a cause. Like, educate yourself. And I'm saying this with love to you, because you guys need to seriously wake up. Like, people need to seriously wake up. A lot of people. I'm seeing way too much of it. People are so asleep and so into that narrative. They're so brainwashed and controlled. And the arguments that come out of them sometimes, I'm like, it just takes maybe a day, 24 hours of like good research for you to totally switch your mind and see the truth. Like, you really need to put that effort in, okay, guys, to wake up. Otherwise, you will be stuck in 3D. And if that's what you want, that's fine. I'm not here to judge you or to tell you anything. That's your path. I doubt those people will be watching this video anyways, but I'm just putting that message out there, guys, you know? Give me a sec. Let me just check something here. Right. So, yeah, I mean, I'm going to end the video just now because I think I got all my points. That's just pretty cool. I didn't think I would, but I did. Yes. What's happened, guys, just to tell you really quick, just to focus on this really quick for you, is the system was hijacked from a long time ago by this dark forces, cabal, whatever you want to call it. And a lot of things were normalized that shouldn't have been. So that's why it's so hard for people to see right now, because they're thinking on such a brainwashed level and they haven't gone past that to even question things that should be questioned. Like, now that all this stuff's coming out about the hashtag save our kids, I don't see any of my actual friends like on my Facebook friends list. So I have my page as well, where I'm an activist, of course, all this stuff. And I have another page, Warriors of the Light. And then I have my group, Truth Seekers and Spreaders, 5D Earth Knowledge. And of course, in those groups, I have a bunch of people there who are understanding this stuff. But on my actual friends list, I have not seen one person share this information and, do the hashtag thing, like to support it. I haven't. When it was the BLM, like, everyone went for it. Everyone on my friends list was hashtag BLM, changing their profile pictures. My God. And if you didn't do it, they got on you almost. Like, why aren't you changing it? Right? Show your support. And now that something legit's happening, something like crazy, where all these kids for so long have been taken. I mean, unfortunately, many haven't made it to this point. But the ones who are being rescued, like, how huge is that? And Trump's doing that, by the way. And not one person on my friends list has put that. It's shocking. It's shocking, because then you start to come to the realization that not everyone wants peace. Not everyone has the same vision for the future as you do. Unfortunately, these are sheep. Like, I don't like to use that term because it kind of sounds degrading, but I really can't think of a better term. Because a sheep is an animal that, I don't want to say animal because humans are not animals, but it's a creature, okay, that just follows. It just does as it's told. That's it. Never questions. That's why we use the term sheep. These people the truth is being thrown in their faces with the proof that they want. Maybe not off CNN, but off other sources, because you have to first then understand that CNN is part of the cabal. It's literally run and owned by that. So the information that's being put forth is part of an agenda, right? It's not correct information. We know it's fake news. Even Trump has openly said it, tweeted how many times that CNN's fake news. It's fake news. Like, it is. And so are many other sources. But it's important to learn discernment, you guys. No one's going to do it for you. Please wake up. Please be a little smarter about the sources where, the information, like, that you're getting. Like, where are you getting your information from that you're getting so involved in, because they know how to get you on a timeline, on a false timeline, I like to call it. They know how to create false timelines for humanity to distract us and get us diverted off the actual timeline we're so naturally and organically supposed to go on to, which is 5D. So it's a constant intention, I guess, but on their side, it's a constant, like, how would I put it? Intention, I guess, is the best word, to distract us and get us onto these false timelines, because it slows down the process. So if the whole world were to wake up, let's say, or at least 70% or 80% of the world were to wake up and vibe high on that vibration, they would have no power whatsoever over us. Do you know what I mean? This is why I do what I do, because I realize the impact it creates. When you wake people up, the more people you wake up, it's like a ripple effect. Okay? So I could be doing this on a quantum level right now, because I'm not physically in a room with people, talking to people, but I know a bunch of people are watching my videos and are sharing my videos. So, you know what I mean? It goes around. I share that energy and those codes with you as I do my videos. So that's mainly what I wanted to say right now, you guys. We're just activating right now, where it's really like high speed to 5D, the vibrations, the plasma light coming in, the light codes, and the light coming in from the sun. Body is shifting from carbon to crystalline, like I said in my last video. So you're going to go through a lot of physical changes. You need to eat lighter foods. I've been putting some pictures up of some meals that I've been making lately that are gluten-free, because I talk about this a lot, is like, get gluten out of your diet or minimize it a lot, please, because gluten is poison and we're not meant to eat it as humans. It's terrible. It calcifies your pineal gland, which blocks your chakras and keeps you low vibration. So don't do it. Remove it from your diet. There are many ways. I share some ideas on my page as well. The recipes that I make, to me, I mean, they're pretty easy. So if you're willing to put in a little bit of work, right, to cook the meal, then you can do that and feed your family good and help your body assisted in the transition from carbon to crystalline, right, from 3D to 5D. Okay, guys, so that's the message I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm sending you a lot of love, a lot of light. Stay strong in your power. Keep your power to your, in your own. Keep that light shining bright, you guys. Don't let the dark get to you. Don't just dismiss it, okay? They're going to keep trying. They're going to keep trying and getting triggered and trying. And stay strong. Keep your boundaries there, because eventually they'll just kind of fall off. They'll just kind of quiet away. And, as we get to 5D, it's like they can't reach there anymore. 4D is as far as it goes, okay? So that's what I wanted to say, guys, today. Take care. Sending you a lot of love, a lot of light, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.